Hello, my name is McKenna Jaden, and I am here to propose a research proposal for educational youth, with the main focus on elementary students and their physical education. About me, some background: I am a retired Division I athlete pursuing my master's in education. I want to bring movement to our elementary students to improve their physical and mental health. My mission is to assess previous literature and research how many physical education classes are needed per week to see physical and psychological health improvement. I plan on doing this in the Murrieta Valley Unified School District located in Murrieta, California. Murrieta Valley Unified School District, also known as MVUSD, has 11 elementary schools. According to the Murrieta Elementary School About Us webpage, the first school in Murrieta opened in 1885. In 2021 and 2022, this district had 22,669 students. The city had a population of 113,783 residents. The district had just recently introduced physical education into their elementary schools this past school year, despite its long existence. So this introduction is for the study. Many previous studies have shown the benefit for physical activity on children. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, consequences of childhood physical inactivity include energy imbalance, which can lead to obesity and diabetes. There are many more risk factors, including the increased risk of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, obesity, glucose intolerance, increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, breast, colon, and endometrial lung cancers. It can lead to low bone density, which turns into osteoporosis. The CDC recommends that students receive 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous movement daily. This includes aerobic, muscle strengthening, and bone strengthening types of movements. However, the CDC also had unfortunate news to report that only less than 1/4, which roughly comes to 24%, of the children ages 6 to 17 years participate in 60 minutes of physical activity daily, which means we are not providing our students with the best education possible by minimizing their physical education class to only once a week. Therefore, I am looking to introduce physical education into the MVUSD elementary schools more frequently, changing the class from once a week to 3 times a week. This will involve collecting, organizing, and analyzing quantitative and qualitative data. The data will be collected from first grade students through fifth grade students from 2 different MVUSD elementary schools. I am looking to answer the following question: how would elementary age students, grades 1 through 5, academic performance, mental health, and physical health be affected if the physical education course was increased from once a week to 3 times a week in the Murrieta Valley Unified School District? By doing this, I was able to use my previous research and look into previous literatures that have a relation to my study. There will be 4 literature reviews that we will talk about today. Source 1 focuses on a group of researchers in 2010 who conducted a study to find the relationship between human and activity resources, class management, student activity levels, and student to physical educator reactions to determine the appropriate needs. They collected their data through qualitative data of interviews and observations. Their interview questions were mainly influenced by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention School Health Policies and Program Survey, also known as SHPPS. These researchers had found that schools with a low student to physical educator ratio received more physical education time and participated in more advanced physical activity levels during their instructional PE time. With this, they found that student activity levels are highly associated with access to sufficient PE equipment, facilities, and trainings. Schools that had a high student to physical educator saw student activity decrease because most of their time was devoted to class management. In summary, physical health was significantly enhanced when physical education classes were small and contained sufficient PE equipment, while big ones spent their time addressing classroom management. Source 2 was performed by a different group of educators and researchers who conducted a study to investigate the relationship between physical activity and students' academic performance in 3rd through 5th graders. This study was performed in 4 different public schools in the Illinois school district. These researchers were able to contain consent from 68% of 3rd and 5th grade parents across all 4 schools. They had required some requirements for their students who participated. So those that moved out of the district and did not complete the annual ISAT testing or any of the fitness gram exams were removed from the study. After this adjustment, 259 students participated in the study. Each participant had to complete FitnessGram physical fitness test, which was 5 segments, and the ISAT, which consisted of 2 segments. The researchers found that physically fit and healthy students are more likely to perform higher on standardized exams. So in summary, this study had restated the fact that students who participate in physical activities perform better in the school. Source 3 was a study that was created by another group of unrelated researchers and wanted to conduct a study to examine the contextual factors students reach in a traditional elementary physical educational setting, viewing the levels of physical activity by varying class sizes and activities. The research was conducted at an undisclosed private school in the United States. It consisted of 281 1st through 5th grade students, and the parents were informed of the research and were able to choose if they wanted their students to participate or not. All students were also informed of the study in their physical education class. With this, the University Institutional Review Board and the school's principal had to provide consent for the research design and procedures before the study even began. This group of researchers found that the students achieved most MVPA when their classes were smaller and very fitness focused instead of motor skill focused. These results recommended changing their class sizes so students could have a better chance of meeting the needs for healthy bodies. Like the first source, these researchers recommended small class sizes to enhance the satisfaction of student needs. So, to review the last 3 resources we have just talked about, all sources have found positive information that physical activity correlates to academic performance. The next source that I will be talking about, we will look at the mental aspect of benefits from physical activity. So this last group of researchers wanted to understand the correlation between engaging in physical education activities like games, and if these activities improve or deteriorate mental health in elementary school children. It was also conducted at an undisclosed elementary school in the United States, and the school administrator had to provide consent. Now, these researchers in this study had 4 requirements for these students to participate. These students had to be enrolled in 5th or 6th grade, and they could not have any diagnosed issues. These students need to regularly participate in PE classes, and the parents of these students had to officially sign consent forms before any of the physical aspects started. By narrowing it down, it brought to 229 students who were able to participate. These researchers purposely held these requirements to control their potential effects over fitness and mental health. These students had to complete a fitness test, which was a physical health test determined by the sit and reach, shuttle run, hand grip strength, sit-ups, and sit-ups. So right now we're looking at quantitative data. And then these students also had to complete a psychological health exam, which was determined by different variables, including the psychological well-being questionnaire, the Rosenberg self-esteem scale, the Beck Anxiety Inventory for Youth, and the Stress in Children questionnaire, resulting in qualitative data collection. The results of this study showed that the main benefit of physical exercise was decreased stress, which can significantly improve mental health in young students, as they most of the time are unsure where their stress is coming from or how to handle it. Before I address the method I would like to use, I would like to review the last 4 sources that I will be using as my literature review in my study. These 4 sources talked about the physical health and physical activity, and how physical activity relates to student academic performance. 2 of these sources talked about the methods that they used and the strategy that should be put in use for teaching physical education. These 2 recommended that class sizes should be small, and one had recommended to use fitness-focused activities rather than motor skill-focused. Source number 3 had found that the fitness-related aspect of this group, while source number 4 talked about the mental health aspect that has a relation to physical activity. This research group found that reducing stress levels in students who participated in physical activity had better mental health than those who do not. Reducing mental health in young students by physical activity is a great way to help them improve their mental health without them realizing it. As a general adult, with my background in sports, I can speak to say that moving your body every day reduces your stress levels. So if we are not providing our current world-class education to these students by only giving them 1 day of physical education when they need way more. This leads me into the method. So I want to take my study to 2 MVUSD elementary schools. One will continue receiving physical education once a week for a full year. The other will receive a physical education 3 times a week for 1 full year. I will be collecting both quantitative and qualitative data. Qualitative data will include NVIVO 11 for Windows. NVIVO 11, I'm going to address for it as NVIVO, is wonderful. When I was doing my research on them, they will collect, organize, and analyze all data through a desktop application. And they can collect from a document to a voice memo to a video to a PDF to a podcast, anything imaginable. This program, the software, can collect the data and analyze it for you, and then create diagrams or charts or heat maps with this. This data is uncovering a trend or themes that I am looking for. This will be collected through the interviews and the observations. The quantitative data will be collected from IBM SPSS Statistics, which is super user-friendly and customizable. If I needed to reduce my data set for any given reason, it will allow me to while still collecting and analyzing the data. This specific software uses artificial intelligence and descriptive statistics to simplify and summarize the data through numbers. Both of these applications are used on Windows or can be used on Windows, which is awesome since the district provides desk laptop computers. So in summary, I am looking to answer the question, how would elementary age students, grades 1 through 5, academic performance, mental health, and physical health be affected if we were to increase physical education class from once a week to 3 times a week in the Murrieta Valley Unified School District? I'll be collecting qualitative data through interviews and observations, and quantitative data through measurements like weight and height. It will be conducted from 2 different elementary schools, and one elementary school will have physical education once a week, while the other has it for 3 times a week. I'll be using NVIVO 11 for Windows and IBM SPSS Statistics to collect my data. Thank you so much, and I hope that you found this proposal very engaging and interesting. And I am hoping to move forward into creating a better physical world and mental world for our future generations.